Let's do this one differently without the highlights. What are our socials tonight?
Our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, YouTube and Facebook. Our sign language expert tonight is Susan Thuku.
Straight to our lead story now. Rigathi Gachagua is a man that surprised many when President William Ruto decided to choose him as a running mate. A
59-year-old who rose through the ranks to become the second in command has never looked back.
Now, from a district officer famously known as a DO or district officer to a personal assistant to the then President Uhuru Kenyatta, his star has been on the rise, just serving a single term in Parliament before being appointed Deputy President.
His light, however, seems to be dimming as legislators brace to cut his term through an impeachment motion.
And a little while ago, that happened. 281 parliamentarians voting yes for the motion to impeach him, 44 voting against that impeachment motion. Of course, there was one abstention. Let's listen in to that report.
The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya.
Having served as a district officer for 4 years, both in Laikipia, Molo, and Kakamega counties, Gachagua's entry into politics has been like a shooting star. His feat nurtured when he served as the personal assistant to the then local government minister Uhuru Kenyatta, something that propelled him to the political scene. Rigathi was so pivotal during the reign of his brother Nderitu Gachagua, who was the first governor of Nyeri County and was said to manage the affairs of the county, when Nderitu fell into health problems shortly after the elections, leaving him as an official of the affairs of the county. In 2017, Gachagua took a stab in politics,
Sisi watu ya Mlima Kenya,
contesting the Mathira parliamentary seat which he won. In 2002, Gachagua teamed up with the current President William Ruto, running a successful campaign.
Excellency, the Deputy President-elect of the Republic of Kenya.
According to the political analyst Oscar Omondi, President Ruto did find Gachagua the most suitable to sell his hustler narrative, having been a district officer where he interacted with the local people at the grassroots.
She didn't suit to be a running mate at that particular time when they needed a local face, mtu wa pale chini. And Gachagua, to me, fit so well into that position. Unfortunately, from whatever I was discussing of Gachagua being a DO, he never transformed to have something called a political communicative language. That means that whatever he communicates, and he is seen as this person who becomes an irritant because of how he pushes his agenda. When he says about the shareholder and what have you, he pushes our agenda as he sees it, because he's also an outsider in politics.
Omondi says Gachagua, who is currently walking on a tightrope politically, is a man who also won President Ruto's heart due to his authoritative way of handling matters borrowed from his past experience.
Na mimi nikamwambia naibu wa rais, hiyo kazi umeniita tufanye, mimi niko tayari. Kwa sababu mimi ni mtoto ya Maumau. Wewe kitendawili ukuwe tayari, tutaonana na wewe mondo kwa mondo.
You know, the ideas behind Bwana Chifu, they implement policies of government. At that level, you don't use coercion or winning hearts and minds as what the political elites do. So I think that Gachagua, having come from that other school of thought, when he transformed into politics, he maintained that way of making decisions or leadership style. And that is why he's come out to be a very abrasive, outspoken, and forcing issues in the political system. I think that is my discussion or analysis of the person in Gachagua.
Gachagua's way of facing his or her accusers in his political career is another thing that stood out, working to his advantage.
Atuwe kwa sababu ni rafiki ya rais atukuwe bosi yangu. Even some people wanamsaidia kazi, mapie yake, wanataka tukuniamurisha mimi vile nitafanya kazi.
You know, in politics sometimes you will ask your think tanks and advisors. I don't think if he has serious think tanks who will tell him, discuss with him the impact and the political ramification of such a move. So he goes full throat.
Political and security expert Chris Otieno says his audacity to speak about serious and sensitive matters without fearing condemnation has portrayed him as a brave politician, attracting wrath and love in equal measure. From the onset during his inaugural speech in Kasarani, the embattled DP did not mince his words, speaking his mind anywhere, anytime, regardless of who is there, earning himself a name, the truthful man.
I must tell these people the truth. From now, you don't have to talk with each other through the WhatsApp for fear of being recorded and persecuted by state agencies.
From Deputy President Gachagua's speech during the inauguration, it was a speech loaded with a lot of emotions. He didn't graduate to become a guardian. A guardian makes decisions and talks based on logical reasoning and rationale. You talk there and knowing that these things that you talk about impacts on very many people because of the office you're holding.
However, analysts say being the first impeachment motion in the level of deputy president, Kenya has indeed come of age in ensuring democratic processes are embraced, in checking the excesses of leaders in a move they say will ensure leaders are accountable for their actions.
I beg the people of Kenya not to measure me with the performance of William Ruto because you might get disappointed. I'll try. I may go up to 60 or 70%, but feeling the shoes of this man is no small feat.
This is a very good political system. When an impeachment happens at the level of the presidency, where it doesn't touch on the president, I mean, in the next 20 years, we should get one day to impeach the president himself so that we cultivate our system, because other systems, South Africa impeached Jacob Zuma, and even Ramaphosa is not sitting pretty, and this is the African community. I think we've not had impeachment in abnormals. We've had coups, military coups in Africa to remove president or elections. But impeachment has not been used as a political process. In America, it has been used and other places. Places like Britain, for example, I think for the last 2 years, they've had almost six prime ministers, because that system is working. If somebody does not deliver on their promises, it is easy to remove. We should not have a system where anybody whom we put into office is so difficult, it's like cast on stone to remove from office.
Timothy Kipnusu for Prime Edition.